going to change the lens. Don't know if I'm going to do very... I have spent a few weeks with the ZFC and also the 28mm special edition, f2.8. I've used it in a lot of different scenarios, so I've just come out today to do some final shots with it before I have to hand it back, and I'm going to give you my conclusions. To the nature! One of the things that I've noticed, obviously I used the DF when it first came out for several months, and it was also at this kind of time of the year, so I had to wear gloves. And I did find it quite fiddly to get around the dials when wearing gloves. Once again, it's kind of autumn, winter, and I'm finding a similar situation, although I'm quite used to twiddling dials now with gloves on. I'm not finding it as difficult. But I would really love it if there was a way to change the ISO to auto on or off using this dial here, because actually having to manually change my ISO I find a little bit annoying when I'm doing it on the top dial. I have actually switched my shutter speed here to where it says third step, which is basically changing the shutter speeds at thirds of a stop. Partly because I find it easier when my eye's against the viewfinder to use the back wheel, but also because some of the shutter speeds that I use are missing from this top dial. So I haven't been using it in the traditional method of changing my shutter speed up here. I just find it easier to have it there. And it locks there as well, so you don't accidentally turn it off. The Z50 has been my second camera for a couple of years. So I'm used to shooting with DX bodies. I don't find it that unusual to have the crop factor. I quite like it. In fact, my second favorite lens is in my pocket, which is the 16-50. This is an incredibly useful lens and it works really well on both cameras. It makes the kit and the setup very small and portable and very versatile. So if you are looking for a DX camera as a second body, the ZFC would kind of make sense as long as you're happy with the retro styling.
Hey Bex, what are you doing here?
I'm just reviewing the ZFC.
Just going to Tesco, pick up some milk.
Ah, okay, good. Yes.
Down the road, about 2 hours walk.
Excellent.
Okay, what are you doing here?
So, I got the ZFC.
Oh, okay.
I got the 16-50.
Yeah, why do I speak with a high pitch? I don't know.
I got the 28.
Okay.
Right, this was my setup for today.
Okay.
And to be honest, I've shot with this quite a lot over the last few weeks, so I kind of know what it looks like now, but I didn't get an opportunity to go out into nature and do, you know, my kind of bread and butter stuff that I like to do.
Speaking of your bread and butter stuff, the most important question I want to ask is it better than the Z50?
In a lot of ways, it's very similar.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of image quality, very, very similar. Focusing is faster, but aside from that, there's not a huge difference between them.
Like in terms of form factor and the feel of the camera, the menu system, what do you think? Are you more lenient towards this one, or would you keep your Z50?
I mean, I personally like the grip on the Z50. I like having that grip. I like the look of this one. You can't have it both ways, unfortunately.
No, it looks the part, absolutely.
Yeah, it really does. And having, you know, used the DF for quite a long time, I like this a lot. I have a couple of small quibbles, but most of the time I can set it up exactly the same as my Z50. I like the fact that it's also got the full tilting screen. I like that it's over here so it doesn't get away in the way of the tripod.
So you're saying the selfies are going to be wonderful?
Selfies are going to be next level on this one.
Okay.
But I've even set up, back button focus with it. I've used a lot of the picture controls, which is quite fun if you want to do that kind of thing.
It's almost a camera that's screaming to put those custom picture controls on it, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, exactly.
So you've tested 28mm 2.8 lens before on full-frame cameras, and you weren't particularly keen on that compared to the 40mm. Now, having it on ZFC, which gives you a 42mm focal distance equivalent, do you prefer it on ZFC over a full-frame camera?
I do, 100%. This lens, to me, works better on a DX crop camera, just because that's the field of view that I kind of want. If you're going to use this on a full-frame camera, I think you have to be in an area where the subjects are really close, so that you get the benefit of the wide angle. Otherwise, everything just kind of looks a little bit unexciting.
I'm with you.
If you know what I mean. And you know me, I went straight up close. I did close-ups with this lens.
You found those mushrooms?
I found the mushrooms. I was very happy.
All right. What about the 16-50? Is that a good setup? I can see it's quite portable, especially in the kind of compact collapsed mode.
Yeah.
Is it a good to-go lens? I
think it's a perfect lens for travel, really. If you want a kind of one lens does most things, then this is going to do it. Obviously, the 18-140 new DX lens is going to be a fantastic combination with this, but it's not very pocketable. Some of them don't quite move fast enough to pan with. Okay, so 100th was the sweet spot, if you have a look at that. So 100th of a second was where I wanted to be. That was the problem with the top dial, was that there was no 100th of a second option. So I couldn't give myself that flexibility to play around. Okay, excellent. Oh no, sorry. You made it. A couple of things I would like to add to my conclusion about this camera. If I didn't have a Z50, I would have gone for this one because I do love the retro styling. It reminds me very much of my FM3A in the layout, and I adore that. The Nikon marketed it for influencers.
I'm sorry, what?
So I think the main target audience was really like the influencer, social media, content creation. But I think that they've kind of missed a trick in that there are a lot of people who maybe want to try film or want to go back to film, but actually don't want to shoot film. Yeah. And they want that kind of tactile feel. This is the camera that does that. It allows you to shoot either fully manually.
Yes. To have all the convenience and not having any of the pain.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay.
So I would personally never replace out my film cameras with this, but I do like that it kind of gives you the best of both worlds in a lot of cases. Would I like a full frame sensor? Yes, definitely.
I approve this method.
Yeah, I would love it if it had a full frame sensor, but having used it for the last couple of weeks with a variety of different lenses in all kinds of shooting situations, it's a very capable little camera. Thank you very much for watching. Please do let us know your thoughts on the ZFC. If you've got one, if you've used one, what you think of it, drop it in the comments below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button for whatever reason.
For reasons. Thank you very much. Bye.